everybody. Welcome back. We are coming to you live from the Outdoor Learning Center. I have some stuff I'm going to talk to you guys about, and then we have a special guest who's going to be with us today. We actually have a couple special guests. One is an animal. So we have missed you guys. I'm sorry that we haven't been around. We have a lot of things we have planned for this fall, and I just wanted you guys to be aware. We have every Friday, we are going to have a live event. So if you guys want to log on around this time, that is great. We also will be recording those onto our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. So if you can't get on live, then go ahead and check us out. And then we have a drive-by zoo event coming up on October 10th. You do have to RSVP for it, so make sure you guys reach out to us if you're interested. Our morning section is already full, so if you want to participate, we have spots left from 11 till 12. We'll have the animals perched out, and then we're also going to be having some activities here in the parking lot. So you're going to stay in your car, but you will be able to meet the animals and talk to us on October 10th. I do have a special guest today, and her name is Lily, and she actually is our newest staff member here at the Outdoor Learning Center. She's AmeriCorps, and she's serving a year with us. And the best thing about Lily, besides she's super nice, is that she has a lot of experience with animals, and she's worked in some zoos and some sanctuaries, and her passion is primates. So I have Tiffany here, and she is going to ask or monitor questions. So if you guys have any questions for Lily talking about primates, that would be awesome. But the first question I have for you guys is, what is a primate? So thinking about an animal, what makes it a primate? So go ahead and throw those into the chat, and we will get started here in a second. Just going to show you guys around here. We have another special guest that's going to be coming here any second. There's Lily. So the question is, what is a primate? And Lily has maybe some cheat up here that you guys can cheat from. Maybe make some guesses on what a primate is. We do not have a primate at the Outdoor Learning Center. We do have a mammal though. And primates are mammals, right, Lily?
Yes.
Okay. So we have a special guest that we're going to show you guys right now. She is one of our mammals. Stella grabbed her for us. So this is Freckles. And I'm wondering if any of you guys that are watching know what Freckles is. If you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and tell us what you think Freckles is. So she has big ears. She has big long teeth that never stop growing. She's got a big bushy tail. Anybody guessed yet, Tiffany?
No, not yet.
So she is a, drum roll please, a chinchilla. Chinchillas are rodents. She normally would live in the Andes. They have been on our planet for about 41 million years, which is a long time. Their coats are super amazing. They were actually almost hunted to extinction because of their fur being used for hats and coats. She's been here for about 5 years. The crazy thing about her is that she actually does not take a normal bath like you and I. She actually has to take a dust bath in volcanic ash. Like I said, her name is Freckles. She likes to eat strawberries. She has to have stuff where she can actually chew because her teeth are always growing. But she is not a primate. She is nocturnal or crepuscular, which means they come out as the sun's going down or going up. And my question for Lily is, are primates nocturnal, crepuscular, or diurnal? So I'm curious about that. But this is Freckles, our chinchilla. Remember, if you're watching the replay, you guys can ask us questions about chinchillas, and we can provide answers the best we can, even after the live is over. So I'm going to turn it over to Lily.
Hi. I hope everyone can hear me okay with the mask on. I'm Lily, and like Jamie said, I love primates. I have my master's degree in primate behavior, so I know quite a bit about them, but these are just some examples of primates. And I will answer Jamie's question later, probably at the end. But basically, what is a primate? So primates are mammals. We, as humans, are primates. So you can see we have all of these traits that I list here. So we all have fingers and toes. We all have an opposable thumb, so that means that we can grab things with our thumbs. This is different than like a chinchilla or a dog or a cat or anything else because they obviously can't grab things. We all have nails on our fingers and toes as opposed to like a claw. Primates all have forward-facing eyes, and this is really important for seeing depth. So you'll see a lot of birds. Birds also have forward-facing eyes because they need to be able to see what they're hunting. Primates also have large brains compared to their body size, so that usually makes them a little smarter. They like to solve puzzles. They're a lot more social than a lot of other animals. And another fun fact, we all have collarbones. And this is just what makes primates primates. And there are some other things too, but these are simple. So I'm going to go over 3 basic groups of primates. So there are lemurs, monkeys, and apes. There are some that I'm not covering, and it's just because they don't fit super well into these 3 categories, and you're not probably going to see them in a zoo or anywhere. So these are the ones you're going to see. These are the ones that really are important. So lemurs are the first one. These guys are the first primates to evolve, and they evolved from something that looks like a shrew. So when you're trying to figure out if something is a lemur, a monkey, or an ape, there are 2 main questions you're going to ask. So the first one is if they have a tail. So lemurs, most of them have a tail. The second question you're going to ask is where they live. Lemurs only live in Madagascar. They live nowhere else in the world except Madagascar. And that means a lot of them are actually critically endangered or endangered because of habitat loss and other issues within Madagascar. Lemurs also vary greatly in size. So we have a small little mouse lemur over here, which is literally the size of a mouse. And then next to it, we have a spock, which is one of the largest lemurs.
And you were saying like possum size, or we were talking about possum size? Bigger than a possum? Okay.
Yeah, about like this.
Whoa.
So, and they vary in color. These guys, a lot of them they can be diurnal, nocturnal, crepuscular. They could be any of those 3. These guys are more crepuscular. These guys are going to be more nocturnal, and you can tell.
Well, I noticed their big eyeballs, right?
Exactly. You can tell really based on the eyeballs. Exactly what I was going to say. The bigger the eyeball, the more likely they are to be nocturnal.
Cool.
So next are monkeys. Monkeys, looking at our 2 questions, most of them have tails. A good tell is if it has a tail, it's probably going to be a monkey if you're at a zoo. Monkeys, besides humans, are the most widespread primate in the world. So they live in South America, Africa, and Asia. But monkeys are split up into 2 groups. So you have Old World monkeys or New World monkeys. And Old World monkeys live in Africa and Asia. And New World monkeys are going to be living in South America. So within my pictures here, I've split it up into like Old World monkeys down here, and they kind of go up into the New World. So Old World monkeys are usually the ones that are more terrestrial, so they're walking on all 4s on the ground. And they usually have a shorter tail. They're not going to be used, or their tails aren't used to grab onto things. They really can't grab onto anything with their tails. Whereas New World monkeys, So like this howler monkey, they have, and our spider monkey, they have a prehensile tail, which can grab onto branches and is really great for swinging through jungles. And that's what you have a lot in South America, are rainforest jungles. So they use that prehensile tail as another limb when they're swinging through the trees.
Can I pause you for a second? Tiffany, do we have any questions coming in? Can we answer a question? This is from Tori. Can you explain animal groups for a first grader?
Okay. So animal groups vary hugely in primates. So you have some of these monkey groups, so I can explain.
And then Tori, are you thinking about animal groups like reptiles, fish, and amphibians? Or are you saying animal groups for chimpanzees? Or not chimpanzees, on primates, sorry, it came out. We'll wait for Tori's response. So you want to keep talking about monkeys a little bit?
Yeah, actually, I can go on.
I cut you off.
They vary in size too. So you'll have baboons down here, which are some of the larger primates, or monkeys, and then down to marmosets and tamarins, which are like tiny.
Cute.
And then you have pygmy marmosets and tamarins, which are even smaller.
No.
And then that's about it for the monkeys.
In South America, we don't get to see these guys around here unless you go to a zoo, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So South America is the closest to us that we can go. There are no native primate species to North America. There used to be one that lived here a long time ago, but it's extinct, and it's been extinct for a very long time.
Wait, okay.
So next we have apes, and apes have no tails. So we are considered an ape as humans. So you can see we have a tailbone, but we don't have a tail. Apes are exactly the same way. There are about 6 different kinds of groups of apes. So there's humans, gorillas, chimpanzees, bonobos, orangutans, and gibbons and siamang.
So you said humans.
Yes.
Interesting. What do you?
Humans are primate.
Cool.
And you can see we share a lot of the same things as these apes because we are apes. And chimpanzees, we actually share over 99% of our DNA with chimps.
Oh.
We are very, very closely related. And
Hey, I'm going to cut you off. It seems like Tori responded. She wants to know the differences between the 3 groups of monkeys. So probably they're 3 first graders.
Primates.
Yep.
Okay.
Primates. Yeah. Gosh, I keep saying monkey.
all right. So they are extremely different dependent on what species you're looking at.
So if you are the first group we talked about was lemurs, right?
Yep.
They have tails.
lemurs have tails, yep.
But so do
So do monkeys.
monkeys. And what's the biggest difference between lemurs and monkeys then?
That lemurs only live in Madagascar.
Okay. So Tori, lemurs only live in Madagascar, or Tori's student maybe. And then apes don't have a tail.
Apes don't have a tail. That's correct.
And they don't live in Madagascar, or do they?
They do not live in Madagascar.
Whoa, so that's cool.
Yes. So apes live in Asia and mostly Central Africa. So gorillas, chimps, and bonobos all live in Africa. And gibbons, siamangs, and orangutans all live in Asia
Cool.
and Indonesia.
So there's some body parts that they have different that separates them, and geographic, like where they live at.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, those are our 2 things.
Okay.
Basically, if they have a tail, it's going to be their body part.
Okay.
And then where they're living.
Okay.
Those
That's
are
the 2.
things that
Okay.
are very different for each of these groups.
I hope that made sense to you, Tori.
And an interesting thing about gibbons and siamangs is this is a video of some gibbons swinging. It's also called brachiation. So they have a special joint in their arm that allows them to do this. We cannot swing like this. We will break our arm. So it's really cool.
Do
And
they
that's
know
how get
why?
around.
Is that just for travel?
Yeah, so that's how they swing through forests and really high treetops. And so in order to do that, it's almost like flinging themselves from one tree to another.
Cool.
And so they have to be able to do that. There is some primates in South America that are similar, but These are apes.
So the gorillas at the bottom,
Yep.
are they wouldn't travel that way, right?
No.
They would be, because I can see on all fours, and then the monkeys up above, or the
The apes.
apes above, but
Yes.
we're the.
So these guys are both,
I am learning so much, you guys.
these are gibbon species.
Okay.
And this is a bonobo, which is very
Okay.
closely related to chimps.
Got it. Okay. Whew, thanks, Lily.
You're welcome.
Okay, how are we doing on questions, Tiffany? Okay.
Okay.
Keep asking questions. Anything. We have a primate expert here with us today.
These guys are, because they're so few, they're actually mostly endangered or critically endangered in the wild. So orangutans specifically may go extinct very soon because of habitat loss, and they live on islands, so they don't have anywhere to go really.
And some of it is for like food production, right?
Yeah.
So
So palm oil plantations are a really big deal in Borneo and Indonesia where they live. And we do a lot of, it's called slash and burn, which they burn the trees down to make the fields to plant all of these palm oil trees or plants. And that takes away from the orangutan's habitat, and it makes it very patchy. So you can see they live in trees primarily, and so when you take down a whole forest of trees, there's nowhere for them to go. And they're, like I said, on an island, so they can't
well, and
go.
I think there's a thing about palm oil, you guys, is that it's in everything. Like I challenge you to take a look at your food that you buy at the grocery store that has labels.
Anything, not just food, too.
And Halloween candy. So I know Halloween's coming. Try to buy candy that does not have palm oil on it. Challenge you guys to try to do that for orangutans and for a lot of the primates.
And I can share some lists too.
Yeah, we'll put some stuff. We'll put some stuff on our YouTube channel too, and on our Facebook page.
Okay. So now it's time for a challenge to see how well you are listening. So our two questions to decide if it's a monkey, a lemur, or an ape are again, does it have a tail? And then, where does it live?
Okay, so these are your two questions that you're going to answer. And I think that Lily's going to throw some pictures up.
Yes. So I'm going to have groups of pictures, and those groups are going to be all monkeys, or all lemurs, or all apes.
And remember, if you're watching this re-record or replayed back, it's fine for you guys to answer those. We love to get your answers. So if you're watching right now live, throw them in the chat. But if you're watching on the replay, also throw them on the chat. Okay, here we go. First one.
All right, I'm going to get on here. So you can see, remember to look for, does it have a tail? And then I've included where it lives. So these guys live in Africa and Asia. And are they apes? Are they monkeys? Or are they lemurs?
Okay, put it in the chat. Are they apes, monkeys, or lemurs?
And at the end, after we go through all of that, I will tell you what they are. The biggest ape.
Somebody asked what the biggest ape was.
Yeah, someone asked what the biggest ape is, and that would be gorillas. Gorillas, a male gorilla can get huge, huge. I don't know specifics about gorillas, but they, about this longish, and about that tallish.
And muscle.
And yeah, they are pure muscle. Chimpanzees are actually 2 to 3 times stronger than humans. They are literally pure muscle. So gorillas are like the same way. They're giant. They're very amazing and cool. And gorillas are actually more of a gentle giant.
Okay.
They mainly eat leaves, and so they live in pretty large family groups, and then eat leaves. And that's all they do all day.
Oh my
Hang
gosh.
out in like a big salad bowl.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have somebody who has an answer.
Two guesses. They both guessed monkey, and then they both changed to ape.
Okay.
So Gibson and Gavin guessed monkey for our challenge here.
That's pretty good.
And then they both switched to ape. So how'd they do, Lily?
They did pretty well. I'm going to put the answer out
Okay.
after I go through all 3 of them.
Okay.
So the next one is these guys. So again, look, does it have a tail? And then where do they live?
Well, that's unique because only this critter lives in Madagascar, right?
Yes.
Not to give out any cheats there, Lily. So what
All right.
have you handled or hung out with any of these guys, of these two groups that you've showed us so far?
So I believe that primates should not be touched or handled. They are wild animals and they're very unpredictable. Even for someone who knows their behavior, it can be, they can go from one, like happy to upset in the blink of an eye. So I have worked with all of these. So I've worked a lot with chimps, like I said, but I've also been to Africa and saw gorillas in the wild. I've seen some monkeys in the wild there as well. I've also worked with a lot of monkeys, and I've worked with some lemurs too. So
Cool.
I've got a little of everything.
So, and we have a guess that these are lemurs from Gavin and Gibson. So we'll go on to the next one. And the last one.
Almost got cut off. These guys, again, look, do they have tails? And then where do they live?
Okay, so maybe we'll go on to the next slide while people are guessing.
So I can go.
Oh, the answers are going to pop up. I lied.
Yeah, well, I can tell them their first one.
Perfect. Okay, number one.
All right,
Oh, it was
so
apes.
You guys were right to change your answer. They are apes. They do not have tails. You can see gorillas don't have tails. These don't have tails. Chimps don't have tails. Yay! Good job.
Good
Casey.
job. And then the second one.
Our lemurs.
Wow, 100%.
And then,
The third one,
Third
Gibson
one.
or Gavin just threw out
yep.
monkeys. Good
You
job,
guys got
Gavin.
it.
Slightly unsure.
He wasn't sure, but you did it. Good job, Gavin.
Yes. So, primatologists, one of their biggest pet peeves is if you call a monkey an ape or an ape a monkey. So now you guys know, and you can tell all your friends and your family members next time you go to a zoo, if you see a chimp or if you see a baboon and someone is like, oh, look at that, whatever monkey, and you know it's not, you can be like, wait, no, that's not a monkey, that's an ape. And everyone there will be so excited that you know something.
Is it better just to say primate? If you
can
don't
just
know?
say primate.
Okay.
If you don't know,
Okay.
primate is totally
Okay,
acceptable,
cool.
all good. And then I believe, did we have
Any more questions out there?
Any more questions?
Stella, do you have any questions? We have Stella sitting here in the audience. No questions.
Okay, so I can answer your nocturnal.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
we talked about that
My
before.
question, if you guys weren't on here, was we were talking about chinchillas being nocturnal and crepuscular. And so Lily's going to tell us if primates are nocturnal, crepuscular, or diurnal.
So, like I said earlier with the lemurs, you can really tell based on their eyes. But a lot of the apes will have larger eyes too, just because we're bigger. So, the answer is you have some in every group.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, you have a lot of primates are diurnal. We can seek in color, primates can as a whole, because we eat a lot of fruit and leaves, and we have to know when that's ripe. Because you don't want to go out and pick an apple and it's green and you eat it and that's really gross. So, we all see in color. You can see this capuchin here is eating, I believe it's like an orange or some kind of fruit. And so, they're obviously going to be diurnal and in the day, so they can see that. Oh, something I didn't talk about, which I highly recommend you look up, is an eye. This guy is an eye. It's spelled A-Y-E, A-Y-E.
We'll put that in the comments too, guys.
And they are very interesting. They live in Madagascar. But again, you need to look them up. They have, I'm not even going to spoil it.
Okay,
Now
cool,
look it up and
cool.
tell me about them if you look.
Awesome. You know, I love, Lily, you say we. When
Yeah.
you talk about primates, you talk about we. Can you just tell us one more time that why are we primates?
So we're primates.
Humans
Yeah,
are, not the OLC
no.
people, but humans are primates.
Yes, humans, all of us, we all share very similar traits to these guys. Like I said, like we're all mammals. We all have our fingers and toes and nails. We all are pretty smart. We all have pretty big brains. And we all have these eyes that we can see out and see distances. And yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. Any more questions, Tiffany? So I'm going to flip it back around. So we're so glad you guys were able to either watch us live or watch us on the replay. Remember, we're going to post this on our YouTube channel, so share it with all your friends and families and teachers. We're going to be here every Friday doing a live, but you can also re-watch the live. And don't forget to check out our drive-by zoo. We miss seeing all of you guys, so we'd love to have you come to the zoo and check things out. But we will be back here next Friday at 1:30, and we are going to be talking about birds of prey. You guys, my question for you is, what's your favorite type of bird of prey? Owls, hawks, vultures, falcons, and any of the others. So hopefully we'll see you next week, and make sure you make a comment or share this with all your friends. Bye.